Hello guys, this is my SATA Modded PS2 with a crucial M300 SSD inside. Now, I don't think I've seen anyone really make a video of the benefits of actually putting an SSD inside a PS2. Now, some say that, oh, there's no difference at all, nothing really, like it doesn't really change anything, but I actually did a little comparison with Silent Hill 2, and I can actually confirm that the game does load about 2 seconds faster. Now, that's not really a big deal, except for the fact that some of the load times are actually completely skipped when loading the game. Now, I don't support piracy in any way. All of these games I have installed on this PS2 are from their original discs. I have them all physically. Now you're probably wondering why I have a shit ton of memory cards plugged into it, and that is just because I have a lot of save files and I mess with them a lot and move them around. So we're actually going to start up Silent Hill 2. If I can find, oh, there it is, I'm blind. And we're going to load it up and start a new game and go through a couple levels. Well, not levels, more like just areas. Love that Konami logo. Now, there is a fun fact, actually. The Silent Hill 2 running off the SSD, I actually have an SSD inside my PS3, and the PS2 version on an SSD actually loads faster. Like, very, very minutely faster, but fast enough that it's noticeable. I'm trying to control this game with one hand. Gotta grab the map inside the car. Blah, blah, blah. Now, this video wouldn't be possible without the YouTuber HellohiGG, I think is how you say his name. He had a tutorial on how to actually mod the PS2 for SATA. He's a pretty cool guy, and actually I'm surprised he doesn't have more views on all his videos, because he actually makes pretty decent videos, and some of them are actually kind of funny. I was actually watching his Fallout New Vegas videos the other day. And I always like the PS2 version of Silent Hill the best, because the fog effects are just like, I don't know what it is, but like it doesn't seem like they used much fog on the other versions. Like, I know the Xbox version has like half the fog missing, and also the HD collection also has sucky fog as well. Although Konami patched it kind of. There's a little bit more fog, but nothing near the amount that's on the PS2 version. Although this is the Platinum Hits version of the game, so it has improved lighting, I guess. Although I didn't really notice much of a difference. It had better lighting, and I know it had an extra scenario with Mary. Or whatever her name is, I can't remember exactly her name. I think it's just like a version of Mary or whatever, but also, a weird side effect of having an SSD in the game is, I noticed in Turok Evolution, when it checks the memory card, and it says, oh, well, it's checking the memory card. Usually it'll sit there for like a few seconds, but when it's checking the memory card on the SSD, like, and it's actually checking the PS2 memory card. It's not checking a save from the SSD or anything. It's more of, it's just checking the memory card. It checks it super, super fast. Like, it's almost skips the screen. It takes like 3 seconds to check the memory card. I don't know if they just kind of use that screen as an excuse for it to be sitting there for a second. But there's like 6 load times before you actually get into the actual game anyway. And it's funny enough, I actually did a test where I put the Turok Evolution on the SSD, and I tried to load the game up from the disc on the original Xbox, and the original Xbox still beat the PS2 on SSD. So the limitation really there is the amount of RAM the PS2 has in the CPU, so you can really see how, I don't know if they just didn't optimize the game or what, but that doesn't really happen in most games, but that was just one where there was an exception of where the original Xbox usually beats it out off the disc, which is crazy. But I'm pretty sure the game was actually originally made for the original Xbox, then ported to PS2 and PC and GameCube. Now also, I noticed there's also a lot less stutter in this game as well. It's a weird improvement. I wouldn't expect for it to even make any difference at all, but I noticed that like sometimes when you're walking through this area, like you'll get like it'll pause for a second. But after I installed the game to the SSD, it really didn't, like, it just kind of cleaned up the performance a little bit. You may not notice that in every game, but like also in Soul Calibur 2 and 3, you can actually sometimes it loads the fights so fast that it actually skips some of the dialogue for their name. But like right here, I'm pretty sure this pretty much skips the entire load screen. Oh, it showed like 1 footprint, but usually it shows like 5 or 6 when loading from like the disc, or if you're using it on a hard drive, it usually shows about 3 footprints there. I know I'm measuring load times by footprints. It sounds ridiculous, but there is a benefit from upgrading a hard drive to an SSD on the PS2. It's the access time. It doesn't have to search for the data on a spinning disk inside the hard drive. It's just all there available, and that's really the only difference you'll get. Really is just it can access that data instantaneously. It doesn't have to search for it at all, which is why you'll see minor improvements. I think the reason the stuttering in the game is kind of fixed is because it doesn't have to wait for the data to be streamed from the PS2 disc. Also, this is a good idea if, like, say, you're worried about your laser burning out because the PS2... Yeah, okay, we've done enough of that, because, yeah, the PS2 lasers are known to go bad. But, yeah, just all you have to do, reset it real quick. I'll show one more game, and then I'm going to end the video, because filming this on a Droid Turbo kind of sucks. But, that's all I really have to record with. I think we'll do... probably Soul Calibur or something. Or yeah, we'll do Soul Calibur. We'll do 3 because 3 is pretty awesome. I prefer 2, but 3 is one I noticed where you can actually skip the names. So I might be able to do it with, I think, Nightmare and someone. It just depends on how long it loads the map and stuff, but like it happens occasionally where it'll just kind of skip the dialogue. Okay, we're gonna just quick play. We're gonna pick Nightmare because Nightmare's badass. Also, the characters show up way faster on the SSD. Oh, I didn't load that fast, but if you see what I mean, I'm going to try and beat her with one hand. I don't know if I can. Yeah, she's probably going to beat my ass. But yeah, this game gets a minor performance improvement. It's not that big of a deal. There's like at the beginning of a match, there's usually like a small, minute amount of stutter that doesn't happen anymore on the SSD and hard drive. Actually, that problem is fixed on both. It's not even really a big deal. It doesn't affect any of the gameplay. It's just the game loading up, really. But this is my PS2 with the SSD in it. It's pretty beast. And also I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but it is a 256 gigabyte one. And it does its job nicely. If you guys want me to do any more vids on this, just let me know.